check La Liga this season. Only Barca and Ashe goes to Madrid team.
Real Madrid, Listo, they've not been convincing at all. Now, that league now Ochimu by 7 points. Now, it has been closed by just a point.
With Madrid firepower and how Girona Fono concede goals defensively, very bad. And I don't think they can stop this Madrid team.
Upe coach and they obey me ama Arteta pressure kakra Maresca.
If Maresca could Joao Pedro as number 10, Listo, Chelsea will lose by like 2-3 goals.
In the last 2 seasons, we've shared the way at Chelsea, Abo against Arsenal and Stamford Bridge, it took errors from Chelsea for Arsenal to score.
Right. Yeah, transfer ra agudi munsam den the Listo Vincent was as na Benedict was say. Andra what is over 2.5 nkwana boy nya secretary man for the bet but Sanam di kanka. Yeah, come on Liverpool straight to him chale. Easy. Liverpool for Emma asem etwe. Liverpool team dey me no ka say there. I'm not for saying crisis but for a team to win the league and be going through such difficult times, and I think they are in crisis. What I say, other teams are Man United, Chelsea, and where the Carbon say fly all over. I think whatever Liverpool is going through, they are in a deep crisis. If you believe Visa and slots between me are turning things around. This weekend, Omone West Ham, rejuvenated West Ham, which means yes. Omone West Ham, they be born. So you ever share? Says I give me so nothing. Chelsea, I bet now Stamford Bridge now on a Bobo Kwai friend Arsenal the Gunners, first and second. Arsenal at the first and Chelsea that second. Chelsea winning at Chelsea the point between themselves and Arsenal with only 3 points. And yes, I'm getting to a crown. Arsenal, I'm telling you, sir, they are flying. How much Bayern Munich? It was a Bayern Munich season starting in your own Lucy game. Or more discipline, 3-1. And I'm to Michelle Monti. 2 teams now, they are flying. You better you be see Sunday to be room. Now for you, Ukupimu, La Liga, Muswa, Barcelona. After disappointing outing against Chelsea, they will play against Bobo Kwef and Alaves. And Yasem Keto Accra Real Madrid. So after a difficult few weeks in the Spanish La Liga, so a better fee na to me La Liga games and Asem Keto Accra. Shannon said Ubicha better my bet and also Ubicha better because my catch was my bet. Omo company in Ghana hayao. Ghana, our offices be Ghana. I said, this is a disc a boom mawa. Obeko no akwa produce ka. Makachi was said, Nano akwa no D. 12 billion. Company no, from Safari Bet. Omu dwane. Case ne kopi mu court. Omu di wie na akwese was said. Almost ton omu japade ni ade no mu de tu abrantia. Right? Oh, yet here in Lebanese company, yet here in no money now, African as a kokra. It's bet na padi ni dia in Sanka Peswa cry. But my bet the Ghana for what I say. Inti udia kwan biaso no. Onsa ebeka wosika na afi biaso etumi akọ ye no. Quickly yenra fixtures nim over the weekend. So na me kan no. Barcelona and Alaves bebo. So and Atletico Madrid and Real Oviedo and Real Madrid and Girona and a bebo hono. Iti mama yirem de no kopie mu Leguan mo Le Championnat Monaco better fi no ne Bobo Kwef no Paris Saint-Germain e de abo ani hono. Iti mama yenra sa games nim. Another topic in
yes, I think Listo was a rare weekend games. Then say weekend way there in Yama Air Koso, My Bed North Africa. Now, be first Scadia time be foot to interne the My Bed North Africa weekend odds nan wedding odds ni mu edu bet builder or options be bit me diska. Yendi kan sha same free Barcelona any Alaves game on Bebo, and I think the Barcelona after a defeat to Chelsea, any another game in Camp Nou, they will try to make their fans happy. And he said the first game in Camp Nou, returning, they coming back to Camp Nou, it ended in a 4-0 2-0. We share this fixture. Alaves are finding it very difficult every time beating Barcelona. But Barcelona last 15 games or about about over 2.5. In this my bed of Africa now. Barcelona be revenge now come up against Chelsea. No, Alaves. So this is one particular game. Surely there are going to be a lot of goals in that game. On the Alaves side, on the last 6 games, about 6 defeats. Most of the time, is through a goal margin. But this one will be different because I think Barcelona the pressure So this game, it's a red card be my because Barcelona last 7 games, it moved 5 red cards. It's me about area. It's a red card beat me about game 1 2 bookings and so on my bed of Africa game will beat me for bookings of over 2 over 3.5 available. Say beat me about, but Barcelona surely are going to win this game. So me bet me that option I'm doing more on this game. Barcelona to win over 2.5 bookings and so over 2.5. But I'm tipping a goal galore for Barcelona in this Alaves game. That is Monaco and Paris Saint-Germain. We heard the French Ligue 1 now. And the distance between Paris Saint-Germain and Monaco ni moso.
Okay.
Paris Saint-Germain ni dika Monaco na that 8th position. I'm about 13 games in a 20 points. So meaning that they are averaging at least a 1.3 per game. Which shows a Monaco season in Yam Peking do baby and no BRSS or Mutimido. Even adding players in Ansu Fati, Paul Pogba. Pogba Timina the opportunity to play. That is their last game on board. This week, with Zakaria red card, he's likely to start for Monaco. And I think if you start for Monaco against Paris Saint-Germain, it's a big game to show the world that Paul Pogba Asamba. And I think he will try to do that. But Monaco on the last 6 games, it moved 4 over 2.5 likely say a boom. And now Monaco on the other hand, on the last 7 games of Mabono, during the first half period, goalless. But Upetima in the French Ligue 1, Otashin goes in the first half Paris Saint-Germain. So this game likely goes in a beba. I'm looking at Monaco giving Paris Saint-Germain a little bit of pressure. Because such a Paris Saint-Germain game on board against Tottenham, the moment you are giving them pressure, you have a chance of scoring against them. So Monaco with Ansu Fati, the likes of Pogba and Real Madrid, so they'll put in a lot of pressure to see how they'll be able to win this game. But I'm looking at come in bed with Africa. Overs the likeliest option I'll beat me afa. Paris Saint-Germain win or draw. But I'm looking at this game. The Paris Saint-Germain be winner. They are going to win by a 2-goal margin. So the game may end in a 2-0, in a 4-2, or a 3-1 against Monaco. So it will be one fixture we can do a mini because it will be very exciting. AC Milan and Lazio. Now AC Milan performance or more than this season in the Serie A and wedding. Now her points gap between Ono and AS Roma is just 2. This weekend AS Roma and Napoli nebo.
Okay.
So AC Milan bebo ejom. So playing against Lazio, they need to at least win that game.
Okay. Now
if you don't the pressure about to Roma, so a draw for Roma will maintain AC Milan in that top spot because now goal difference near pay. Okay. So say Roma kobo draw. Then AC Milan team shall Lazio by even a goal by the end of the Serie A games Obaba be decline. That shows this how important this game for AC Milan. But these 2 teams are omo fixtures on my boni na only once and at this game are ending in a draw. Okay. It will be the last 13 fixtures 1 pen are ending in a draw. It will be home or away on pen one sem. Yes, home or away and there no or you win or draw and do be any about shit team no. Into any home and away no. This is a fixture home or away likely to play because the last 13 games on my bono once per and are ending in a draw. AC Milan team now. A bad league no team coming back from losing position so about be winning gamer. They are one of the best in the Serie A and now. It's a AC Milan each year. Out of 7 games from losing positions, or maybe winning 7. And my ball draw back up a wall.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing about AC Milan is that anytime goalkeeper top form, they do very
well. Yeah.
And after a very difficult season, last season, Mike Maignan, I think they're going to the World Cup. I don't know. Say a heavyweight because
effect, yeah.
Chevalier are joining Paris Saint-Germain, and how far Paris Saint-Germain will go both in the Champions League and domestic can bring way because Magna shows a poor form no show last season. Like we to Lucy the number 1 position. I think that he is motivated and the kind of goalkeeping now the more it is giving me title winning vibes now the more.
At the moment, yeah.
I think the best goalkeeper in the Serie A. That is what he's doing. So in terms of goalkeeping, and they are also scoring.
Yes.
They try to score at least in every game. And their goalkeeper tries to keep you in the game. So I think they will beat Lazio.
But between this fixture, one thing is AC Milan from minute 1 to minute 25 were one team on concede. Lazio, on the other hand, is in the first half games, on share goal in the first half in the Serie A this season. So likely, I'm looking at this game, say a bit miyako by 1-0. The way I can say their goalkeeper is performing. No, AC Milan may get a goal, and that'll be it. Until this fixture be so be come in bed of Africa. But AC Milan and Lazio, maybe there'll be a lot of goals. So from previous fixtures, they've been goals 2-1, 2-2, 2-0, 2-0. But I'm looking at this fixture being a second half win for AC Milan. And if AC Milan be winning the second half, it may be by a goal or 2. I'm not seeing maybe over 2.5 in this game, Derby. Because they need to win at least at all costs by a goal or 2. Then said Napoli. Bernard said they would give Roma pressure to close them down on the league log. But I'm looking at AC Milan win and maybe a goal for AC Milan in the second half. That is the that is AS Roma and Napoli game. This is one fixture. AS Roma a team bia Obohoma. Who say AS Roma Obohoma likely said they are going to win or draw. And their last 10 games, AS Roma is either so Lusumpo or Homa is by a goal margin.
Okay.
All their fixtures have been won or lost by them through a goal margin. And this fixture, any more say a 1-1 draw, a 0-0 draw in this fixture.
Okay.
Because Antonio Conte is the way defensively are very solid. We heard the last 5 fixtures between these two clubs are. It has been 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, and a 2-0 AS Roma Timinya in 2023. That has been the only 2-goal margin in this fixture.
Okay.
It's a come in bed of Africa. Handicap for one of the teams will be okay because I'm not seeing a high scoring from both teams. But with the former Roma Equita Wofie this season, I would tip AS Roma to go ahead of Napoli in this game.
Okay.
Yes, they would go ahead of Napoli. The last time Olusu Wofie in the Serie A was against Inter Milan. They lost by 1-0.
Okay.
So the goal margin there, it will be just by 1. So a handicap of 2 for AS Roma Wofie, likely your bet will be okay for you. And I think it will be a difficult fixture. Antonio Conte be born home day. The Serie the Spanish La Liga. Real Madrid, Listo, they've not been convincing at all.
Okay.
They've not been convincing because Real Madrid be going to a La Liga game against Elche. Nasa Adano, ubi ohwe ball ni biano. Ube to ball ni so abeka Real Madrid ne eshe white no. Because Elche for ne ball tiki taka. Pass no mu yitua no mu yitua. Now Real Madrid they chase ball no. It just took brilliance of some of their players to secure a point for them. And uko into games like this now that league now Ochimu by 7 points. Now it has been closed by just a point.
Yeah. And
they're playing one team Onuswe losing a form in Girona. And I think that this will be one game Real Madrid will be happy playing Girona as a now. Because of form Omuti team losing. Their home form Omuti pick 1 or 2. But so here teams Omuti share Mufia against Alaves Oshen 1 pair. Against that is Valencia. It ended in a 2-1. I don't think they'll give Real Madrid that pressure. This game, I did Real Madrid this season. If you two are on say this game, Real Madrid win or draw and 1.5. My bet for bet builder now one to. Because now Real Madrid early payout and son of my bet. So Real Madrid win or draw 1.5 likely because this fixture it produces goals. The last 5 fixtures of this game are producing over 2.5 across.
Okay.
3-0, 3-0, 4-2, 3-1, 4-1. So they are goals. But Real Madrid beat me a grabby game by winning by a high score line. So it's likely to go for a win or draw and 1.5 for a win or draw and over 2.5 for Real Madrid. Yembonra the EPL, and I think the EPL there are some exciting games also. Yes, I seen free Crystal Palace against Man United, and I think Ruben Amorim, she said, "I was go back to factory settings," and I wasn't surprised. Maybe I say I wasn't surprised. I don't see anything special. Not all yet. It was just a formation switch. Say nay or against him on press your man. They will just sit in a 4-4-2. Now feed your mind then on my ball counter. We share team or better than Nichi and then they are finding it very difficult. We saw it against Nottingham Forest, who against Everton. And Crystal Palace is similar to these two teams. So, Man United may call it straight to because Crystal Palace will sit back and wait for United. And Crystal Palace are up front. Players will beat me a ball counter Crystal Palace. The last time a Man United Crystal Palace, Crystal Palace home list Selwood Park. That was in 2019. Wow. And a United copy key win. It was a 2-0 win for United. Free Hawk on United didn't mean copy key win here. And 2019 in United's hard time, no, they were on top form. This game, Crystal Palace straight win. And Chain, Crystal Palace straight win. Make sure Otter, my bet with Africa Otter, Crystal Palace is 2.48. Okay. Crystal Palace straight win. Bet me a handicap of even 1 for Crystal Palace to win, or odds bet me I do. There will be goals in this game. Man United, they were high scoring game. Every game, apart from the Everton game on boy, they've been producing over 2.5 in any game on Bebo. And this game will bring a lot of goals. Mateta, a player to score. My bed of Africa, beat him Lusika to Echi. And there'll be a lot of corners also in this game because of United attacking threat. Ombehe said they'll get Cunha back, who would be a key player for them. So beat me Abuam. One fixture, Tottenham, any Fulham, a London derby.
Okay.
And Thomas Frank, Ope coach or the West home form in the Premier League. We Wolves are Thomas Frank. They've been very, very poor at home. Omo game home I am shishia kra etching the enka okwa we be fans ni didi also. And their home form has been very, very poor. But one thing at Tottenham, every time be at their last 4 games, said they are one team they score and they concede. Fulham is a team here. List to up a team most of their games in the first half or about dry or no. In 12 games our ball. It move 4. First half or born a draw. Okay. Then second half or no about the or the will say move beam. Then they'll come and get a goal or 2. But going into this game, I'm seeing a both team scoring because Tottenham side in their last 8 games, they move 6. They've been both teams scoring. Tottenham are scoring. Fulham are scoring. Into this game is likely to get both teams scoring. But I'm looking at a win-win in this situation. Tottenham on time board row of here. Likely a win-win in this situation. Over 1.5 over 2.5 is likely to happen. Team Obe winning this game may win the game by a 2-goal margin.
Okay.
Either Tottenham is winning by a 2-goal margin or Fulham would win by a 2-goal margin. In the last game, that is the biggest game in the EPL, Chelsea against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I think this fixture, in the last 2 seasons, the way at Chelsea, Abo against Arsenal, Stamford Bridge, it took errors from Chelsea for Arsenal to score. In the first fixture in the 2-2, Sanchez, ball long ball, no ball come arise, and arise ball share.
And I'm better last minute.
And I'm better here. And it has been said, those times, I can say, the Chelsea team wasn't stable as at now.
As at then.
Yes.
Okay.
So, as at then, yes. So, this game would be a tactical brilliance between these 2 top coaches. And upe coach and then you bet me ama Arteta pressure kakra Maresca. In draw Arsenal and Bayern Munich game on boy, you could see a lot of lapses in the Arsenal team. Their build up is very obvious. So Maresca beshe Sandra game, he'll be able to stop the Arsenal team without no stress.
Okay.
Arsenal are not building up with Zubimendi because Zubimendi ain't him that long range boss neighbor. So Arsenal are now building up with Declan Rice. And Declan Rice be build up now. Zubimendi needs our box to box presence to be to cover on man. So most of the time, unya team will press you in the middle. They find it very difficult to move the ball. But in the second half, we said they were trying to now move the ball through long balls and pressing to make sure say Sisi and the ball could be by inside they are losing in their half. Now if you do meet me in your ball. And I think Open one coach who can exhibit a talent to stop all these things like Maresca.
Okay.
And I think this game, Chelsea fans be bringing GDA said they can win the league.
They can win the game.
No, the league in Puna Mbeka Wansem. They can win the league because season Baba Shasi and me say me top way I'm the buy because Chelsea are going to win the league.
Okay.
And this game is going to give most of Chelsea fans the idea say this league can be won by them. Game way, we'll see a lot of set pieces. Chelsea are master now how to defend and how to score corners. Arsenal on the other hand, this season the Premier League, we top two teams or minimum corners share any corners defend here, Arsenal and Chelsea. So this game may be decided by a set piece. And both teams I know are going to deploy ways to stop it. But I think the game will be played in the middle of the pitch. Chelsea beat me winning game where it will be based on Enzo Fernandez. How brilliant he is on the ball. Send your bet me movie ball no, from the Chelsea half straight into the Arsenal half.
Okay.
Arsenal be winning game no man. It will be based on how Rice and Zubimendi will be able to stop those balls from Enzo Fernandez into that Arsenal half. No, I didn't make us say in draw the Bayern Munich game give a clear example. Every time Joshua Kimmich is on the ball, no, it's a dangerous ball for Arsenal. In draw man, 2 long balls into the Arsenal half, back at the core in a goal. Baku was a missed chance. In the second half, Mikel Merino so into who in the next ball at Kimmich fire now it was a yellow card for Mikel Merino. He wouldn't allow him get the ball. So how quick Enzo Fernandez can be on the ball would help Chelsea. But I'm seeing that key weapon for Maresca in Cole Palmer. He wouldn't start the game, but he may come in and he'll be that key weapon for them. But I'm looking at this game being both teams to score.
Okay.
Likely both teams to score. And a Chelsea win in this game.
All right.
Yeah, listo. My chat here for me. I have for you. I think this weekend the many exciting games. I would want to start from the Premier League, especially the biggest game I be across over the weekend. Chelsea, Arsenal, Stamford Bridge. You see, it's going to be one of the toughest game for both clubs now mobile born. And people might say, oh, Chelsea, inconsistent. They are not consistent enough. And many times, probably maybe Chelsea could a FIFA Club World Cup, no? And there's a certain kind of pressure and perception, but I say, oh, Chelsea are too much a PSG, a club, world champions there. It means that they are not going to lose the game. In the Premier League this season, Listo, Arsenal, if you look at the standings, Arsenal lead Chelsea with 6 points. And you know where that 6 points come from? It comes from 3 games now Chelsea are losing. Because Arsenal are losing 1 game in the Premier League this season. And now Chelsea are losing 3, I think, to United, Sunderland, and Brighton.
Yeah, and Brighton.
Now, Listo, Chelsea's last 11 games. People are saying Chelsea are inconsistent, but you see, Listo, Chelsea's last 11 games, for losing just once. That is against Sunderland. So, that is in all competition. If you look at Arsenal, the whole of this season, you started season, Listo, Arsenal losing just 1 game to Liverpool. And now, Wabo draw 2. That is in all competitions. In all competitions.
Yeah.
I think he drew also against Wabo 2 draws and Walusu just 1. So the only difference between Chelsea is Chelsea lost to United, Brighton, and Sunderland. Sunderland are or share Chelsea. Arsenal couldn't score them. Now we will talk about Brighton. Obia any if not Trevor Chalobah, red card no DNA, that game would have been a different. After that game, the conversation would have been different.
Yeah.
And same as United here. Robert Sanchez, early red card, also it make a huge difference in that game. So if you look at Chelsea team now, Listo, in terms of how they are playing, they are not far off Arsenal. But what Arsenal award this season, experience, and they have everything it takes to win the league. Now they have the squad depth, and last season, like I said, that they don't have. Aside from that squad depth, they also have experienced players. They are scoring from all fronts, just as much as what Enzo Maresca aired this season. Now, and the OTA report said they don't want Chelsea to be a one-man team. So if you look at Chelsea this season, a lot of players have been scoring. From defense, from midfield to attack, all the players have been scoring. This game, if you look at how Bayern, any Chelsea boy, and if you look at how Bayern, any Arsenal ball, this midweek, this is how I'm going to see this week. You see, when I was watching the Bayern game, I told Bayern, I said, Charlie, game no tactically, players need now a discipline. The least mistake I'll be the best show. Yeah. Look at set piece normally share. Arsenal there. And if you watch that Arsenal Bayern game now, you will know that Bayern this season, they have been struggling with defending set pieces.
Yeah. Against
yes.
Game against Ghana lefty now
Derrick Corner, Union Berlin. Yeah.
They almost use set piece.
Yeah.
And at the show. Against Freiburg. Freiburg show almost 2 goals. Now from corner.
Yeah.
Kick. And any corner beyond Bobiana.
Yeah. So if you look at Bayern team now, they were struggling from set pieces, defending set pieces. And one thing this season, Chelsea fans are highlighting Chelsea defending set pieces, especially long throws and corner kicks, especially balls near far post. No? Yeah. And Arsenal for no, they have varieties of tricks, especially when it comes to corner kick. Into area, Arsenal first go to share team by share corner kick now. You see, Arsenal, Saliba he mistake. And that is how the game is. That is how the Chelsea game is. Like Chelsea and Arsenal game, no. That is how it's going to be like. The least mistake, man marking, what be a little mistake, a foul. But if all these two teams list to, say Enzo Maresca, in tactics no they kono, on the right, then of finding ways and means obey me defending Arsenal set pieces now. Trust me, Chelsea will win this game. The tactics no right.
Of course, Maresca, in terms of getting tactics.
Yeah. But you see,
but the players making sure somebody executes.
Yes,
the tactics. And against Barcelona, for instance, Chelsea started very well, got 2 goals, and now was chopped off. But the biggest chance was our first 20 minutes. No? Went to Barcelona. And Chelsea just dashed it to them.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, if you look at Arsenal there now, they are the best defensive side in the league this season. You won't get a lot of chances. But one thing they don't know is, Chelsea team is one of the top 3 teams are create a lot of chances. It doesn't mean that Arsenal don't concede goals. Now the thing is, Arsenal, they will find ways and means to score. Whether it's set piece. If Chelsea team, because game now, when Harry Kane drop in or change Saliba coin, then the ball command Nabrio flanks. Sometimes Amakran Leonard card. He was free and across nearby. So the game, say Arsenal for 1v1 press in the year, they will affect Chelsea. But the thing is, Chelsea have the men in midfield. Okay. That is what as a Chelsea fan. And Ushe game tactically, Chelsea have the men in midfield. They have Obia stop your play. They have somebody who can play the long passes. And the other one number 10, if Maresca Kobo Joao Pedro as number 10, listo, Chelsea will lose by like 2-3 goals. This is not a game over Joao Pedro as number 10. He can start as the striker. But in this game, I'm expecting a similar lineup like how Obo against Barcelona. No, you better Caicedo, Rhys James, then no about Enzo Fernandez. Let Joao Pedro start. You need a striker. I think that Maguire is a player. So remember this boy of Valencia, Mosquera. You need somebody here. More running. Somebody more defenders. No. In fact, even Delap can be starting now. That battle alone.
I feel that this game beats me a Delap.
No, but you see, Joao Pedro, about Premier League, or Timmy battle with defenders. No. So any of these strikers are best at your own. But you see, list to Chelsea the marking 1v1 marking, especially as against Barca. I will make key that free man. Good use of it. This game, I see it to be a scoring draw. To be very honest, check the last few games are. About Stamford Bridge. Since Mikel Arteta by at least two, I did my comment Arsenal and say Mikel Arteta be coach my Arsenal. Only lose against Chelsea or Stamford Bridge. In their last 6 games at Teta Bay, only Chelsea about 6 or Stamford Bridge. We're winning 3. And we're about draw 2. So in this game, I see it's a better scoring draw, but definitely Mikel Arteta have a very good record against Chelsea, and they come into the game as the stronger side. But trust me, if Chelsea are taking the chances, that game, they almost dominate their midfielder. Trust me, I won't be surprised if Chelsea beat me winning this game. Then again, Listo, another game Betoja my thing say United and Crystal Palace. It's a game that against supporters union for the money who you see. Crystal Palace for Listo. Adiba come for win is there when Omoko bear 16 games unbeaten. After that game unbeaten, the first game they lost was against Everton. That was Everton 4 game on board new stadium hall. Yes, Hilde Kingston. After that, they lost to AEK Lanaka in the Conference League. And I'm supposed to lose to Arsenal or Emirates, which are any news. But aside that bad run on board 4 games after going 16 games unbeaten, I'm lose on board, don't lose 2-2 also. Since losing to Arsenal, they haven't lost. I'm about 5 games. I'm winning 4, I'm about draw 1. And you see, but Bakuna na draw was against Brighton and Hove Albion. Crystal Palace for Listo. They have good forwards. Mateta, Yeremy Pino, Sa. They have good players and they have good midfielders. Watting. So you see, it's going to be an interesting game for United for now. Benjamin says Kwapra. It means that they will go into the game either Somebo Kunha as a false 9. I don't remember Umbuemo or probably Joshua Zexi. And in fact, Ahmad no say Ubo Kunha as number 9. It means that Odi Ahmad they call Ahmad in United. Say Ahmad the ball right wing one and Obonobo, especially under Ruben Amorim. So to me,
so how did you know they didn't bought 10 against Everton?
Yeah, because no, only number 9 because says could be pra.
Well, yeah.
Messi Mount.
Now Messi Mount.
I don't say Mount no so also feel injury by now no. I don't know why or benching Mount or ball.
Normal academy, no money players.
Because
they
I can see for no moment to
somebody.
Me name says our boy we Obino.
Obi near striker.
So funny because why Zexi be boy there saying Obi debate me about.
On Ginindi. So listen, I think say especially Crystal Palace playing at home makes it very difficult for United. In fact, they have a very good record against United. Their last 5 games against United didn't mean winning Selhurst Park. Okay. And it's going to be very difficult. In fact, Upe one of the few teams of Maha United in recent times are. So in this game, Listo, I think Crystal Palace in this game, especially home, are going for a double chance for a Crystal Palace. Kakrebi on Roma Napoli game no. A game Listo. I say Obiabeti Miarini. If you look at the Serie A league log now, Roma had the first, Napoli the third, just 2 points in a decidium. You see, the last time these 2 teams Diego Armando Maradona Stadium Lazio Rome hono. Boy 1-1 draw. The last season, Napoli win home. But one thing about Napoli said this season list to Omuba they are very bad. Napoli kwa away and last 5 games, Olusu 4. And we winning 1. The win came against Lecce. And look, winning by a long goal. And if you look at Roma, home games also this season was struggle kakra, especially also the last 5 games. He lost to Lille, he lost to Victoria Pleasant, and also to Inter. But aside that, ni home this 4 games and game also against Torino. The last 2 games also about home ningna or winning ningna. It's a game that I see say another scoring draw because Napoli for no untimi fa usika nto match because way record enye very bad. And Roma, apart from so many, especially some bad patch be to say Crystal Palace for the in recent times almost they have a very good home record. And Ochake Roma and Napoli. In fact, always either Napoli inside the Roma so in recent times. But I see it's a game that I see say a better scoring draw. Madrid bebo Madrid ne Girona.
Yeah.
List 2. Ochake La Liga this season only Barca and Ashe goes to Madrid team And only team will consider goals in the Premier in the La Liga.
No.
Girona. Girona is one of the few teams that consider a lot of goals. So I think that it makes it very difficult for Madrid, especially in the more recent games of ball. But it's a game that I think that with Madrid firepower and how Girona for concede goals defensively, very bad. And I don't think that they can stop this Madrid team. I'm going for a win for Madrid. Barca Alaves, Camp Nou, Alaves, they don't have any chance. Say omit me, I stop it. Barca. I'm going for a Barca win. Then Atletico Madrid will be all of you because it's no almost brutal. After one of the few teams that go back to relegation. So I think that Atletico form won this season. She know how I'm winning against Inter Milan. They have a very formidable side. They defend and now they score goals. So a win and over 2.5 for Atletico Madrid is too highly possible.
Okay, right. Into games no na yabo boss so kama the amount. Games no na yabo boss so kama the amount. Chelsea against Arsenal. But eventual probable lineup for both team. Will you start Noni Madueke against Chelsea or
if you look at Arsenal team, they know Trossard April. And I don't think say Trossard April no. Now
serious injury.
Oh yes, Trossard don't remember against Chelsea there no.
Trossard injury in poor pick. I think picky injury against Spurs.
Yeah.
Jomu yini film. So I was surprised starting.
The way I know.
Metman say he's their weapon now.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And see Osha they will need speedsters or flanks or. And looking at how American looks like Merino and Abia remember as a false nine.
Okay.
Inti Osha Arsenal team now I see them starting Raya as usual. Timber, Gabriel Saliba, Mosquera, and Calafiori. Zubimendi is back. So they will play Zubimendi, Declan Rice, any Eberichen is who has been playing the number 10 role for some time now. Maybe Odegaard and Medican can ask him. Or final two baby. Then Obe started Martinelli. Now I started Merino and Bukayo Saka. Because on say Madueke free injury by Enche. So starting me, especially in this tensions games, if it's my hard, even if for best attacker, I don't think that he'll play after first half or maybe anything. But then Martinelli, to me, I think that they will start Martinelli ahead of Noni Madueke, especially in this game. And Chelsea side, I'm expecting the coach to start a lineup no boy against Barcelona now, but player Bako. I think that in this game, I believe so on starting Estevao Willian. I believe Obe started Gusto, Fofana, Chaloba, and Marco Correa, Sanchez in post. Rhys James Caicedo will be the pivotal midfielders. Enzo Fernandez will play as the attacking midfielder in the team. Obe started Pedro Neto. Obe started Joao Pedro. Now I started Alejandro Garnacho in this game. That is how I see say Enzo Maresca.
Joao Pedro instead of because you need a physical
person in July.
But you see, as Arsenal for when you are playing against Arsenal, or no be press you. Ombo low block because he will be a physical. Arsenal they are not in the boy or about 1v1 marking. So you need somebody who is good on the ball. Who can find the lap. Ni first touch in always Saliba and Mosquera and Beji Bonifin. You can't dominate the possession. So with a game against Arsenal, you need a striker who is very good in the ball. A striker or silky, somebody who can link up plays any other day. The lap against Arsenal obey mere passenger in the game. Because Arsenal always they are pressing. The lap he's always with say long pass na mano. No my hassle. So definitely Joao Pedro was born in the Premier League and he's used to that physicality. If I read Joao Pedro, he's very physical. Look at how Oshia Van Dijk now he's very physical and I don't think say make me a bullying in this game. So he's a player that we will need in this game, especially footworks and then the link up play will be very crucial, especially in this game.
Okay.
Yes, I think with the Chelsea lineup, I think Sanchez will be in post. I'm looking at him bringing Rhys James at the right side. Obena James will be a lot of workload free. So then Fafana Chaluba partnership Barcelona and it worked. So they are going to see the same thing. Cucurella Beba, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo in that double pivot. Neto, Garnacho, and I'm seeing Joao Pedro playing as a number 10 view. Then you go for the lap. Obena James said, with that, you need someone to be a present on Saliba. Saliba in the Arsenal, their centre backs, on any Gabriel, on the weakest link. He's not that good on the ball. Ebani say maybe pressure than is what you can get a lot of, and you need somebody to press them so well. So Dila bear more of that pressing. No? Then I think João Pedro will be that number 10 going in for the link-up play. On the Arsenal side, no, the only changer we may see will be Lewis Kelly going off. Okay. Because Lewis Kelly against Olise Indra was the worst performance for Lewis Kelly. Okay. So I'm looking at Lewis Kelly going off. And Trossard, I'm clear by a name Madueke will start. He's looking at somebody who would walk the talk. Up a player he can walk the talk at Madueke. Chelsea against Wolves. After that conversation, of course, on Instagram, he came in and did it. So he's looking at Obeba knowing, say, I'm playing against Chelsea. I'm playing at the Stamford Bridge. I need to put something into them. I think we'll start Madueke over Martinelli. Cetros are not available. But I think Eze, Saka, Merino will start. And on the Chelsea side, I think that Merino need Eze start here. Out of these two, the dangerous player when it comes to their build-up needs to be Eze. Merino be drop, you'll be anymore. So between Fafana and Chalobah, one person needs to be tracking Eze so well to be able to stop way. But I think it will be an exciting game. Both teams will come in. Arteta would like to win. Arteta, this is Nadeba Kwama say he wins the game by any means. Okay. Against Bayern Munich, say after the game, company beka say omunya trua. Omo pe ball nimpo if ball boys no one adani asem. So they want to win the game by any means. So within the first 30 minutes or trying the ball playing now, everything will be based on set pieces. No matter I said they can unlock Chelsea.
All right. I the weekend preview ABC.